Hi everybody and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. Today we're going to wrap up the September design team project through Mad Paper Crush. And I'm going to embellish and decorate these little mini envelopes I cut. And this project has been a lot of fun. I wanted to show you that through the use of digital papers, you don't always have to make a junk journal or, anything big. You can, I cut some new little, you can use your papers in so many other different ways. This paper here that I'm using with Mad Paper Crush is Sharon's Perpetual Autumn series. And these are the papers that I have left that I had run off. These are some scraps. But just for an idea, I will show you some of the pages. They're ripped and torn, but it's a very pretty set. If you go back to my part one, I show all the papers before they get cut and used and abused. So, but again, I wanted to show you, a lot of people think when you have digitals, you have to use the whole sheet. And I just wanted to show everybody that you can use sections and different, different parts of the papers. So please go, I invite you to go back and watch the series on the September design team projects, and I think it'll give you some good ideas when you run off digital papers, other ways to use them. So first I want to thank everybody for joining in, for coming back, subscribing. If you're a new subscriber, I thank you. You know who you are. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying this, and I thank you. So I ran off some extra, I didn't run off, I actually cut some extra. Let me move some of these out of the way. We're going to be working with all these little envelopes today. And I had the cable guy, I had to wait to come. So I'll tell you what I did. I went ahead and I prepped a lot of things while I was waiting for him to finish up and with his work. So I went ahead, I'll put this here so you can see. And in one of the other series, I made these little slide film ephemeras pieces. And I used, if you can see here, I used these Tim Holtz, I call them wildflower thinlits. And I ran a bunch through on my machine. And I did some more today that I want to use on these little pockets. So that is one I'm going to be tearing apart. I ran off these cute little flowers. This comes from a Stampin' Up. I think it's Stampin' Up, and it has this one here is, I'm not sure the name of it, but it has the Adirondack chair in with it. So I ran these off here. I ran this one off, and I'm going to show you the paper that I used to run all of these except these two here, the cardstock ones. So this, and this is what I'm talking about, this here and this little tag here was part of Sharon's digital kit. And they're both, this one here and this one were both made up to be used as pockets. And because I'm not doing a journal or anything like that, I decided to take my thinlits and cut these images out of this paper right here. All right. So that's one idea. And then I did the same thing here. This was a pocket. And I just cut it down and I made a little tag out of it. So I'm going to set these aside. I will put them over here just a little bit out of the way. I'll move them up so I can grab them. And we will start doing some embellishing. These are pretty much done. These again were used with Sharon's, these are all Sharon's papers. And I just have, you know, quite a few little pockets and envelopes that I ran, and I'll do these afterwards. I'm going to put a few little embellishments on here and some washi tape, but I will do those after. This one I've already embellished. I did this in one of the other videos. This is one of Tim Holt's die cuts, and it's a little tag here. And all I did here was I found this really pretty washi tape that I had right here, and I added this to the top of this little envelope. So I'm going to set that aside. That's done. And we can start, I think we'll do these two little envelopes first. And what I did with these is these were a plain white back, because obviously when I ran Sharon's paper, it's not double-sided. So I went ahead again and I used her paper here that had these beautiful flowers on it. And I just, when this was open, I just went and I lined the inside of it. And I got this all ready to work with. And I did the same with this one. I lined the inside of this so it wasn't just plain white. So we can work on these to start. And I'm thinking, I haven't really been thinking about too much because, like I said, the cable guy was here today because I was having some phone issues. And these envelopes are not, I do not want them to fold down. I want them, whoever receives these, I want them to stay up like this on their paper, on their page. So they have, you can see the top part here. So I'm not worried if I put something up in this corner. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not going to use a flower because I've already used a flower here inside. So I think I'll embellish this card a little bit. I want to make sure that it's right side, the printing. So this is the right side up. And I do like her little tickets here. So I'm going to cut that in half. I was going to use that as a tag, but I decided not to. And I think maybe what I'll do too is to give this a little bit more. I do have a stamp here. I may just put a little stamping on this. And I'm just going to use this back here. That will just add a little bit of something something to that. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. There, that'll just add a little dimension to that. And maybe I will do it also on, so they match. I'll do a little bit to this right here, to each envelope. So that just adds a little bit to that as well. All right. And let's see. And it doesn't ever really have to be a lot. Just a little something to accent. Like that on the bottom. Just think it needs a little bit more color. I'm not crazy about that. This, I think maybe I'll just take the ends off a little bit. That might be a little bit better. Well, my goodness. So I hope everybody's having a good day. It's raining here again. I think we're supposed to get rain all week. My husband's out of town, so I'm going to be in my craft room for a nice little, I'll have a nice little stint in here. I'll be able to get a lot, I'll be able to get a lot done. I'm going to take these little bottom leaves off because this is just a little too tall. I can't move anything today. Everything's kind of stuck. Everything is kind of stuck. And I don't think you have to have a lot of color. I think if you just have, if you're going for a softer look, you can also just have, sorry about that. You can also just have your textures. You know, it's kind of like that in the garden. There's areas in my garden that it's not conducive to grow some of your really pretty, colorful flowers. It's either, you know, too hot, you know, it gets too much sun, etc., etc. So what you can do, what I do a lot of times is I'll just add like different hostas and different textures of, see, I think that's pretty. And it's just very simple. It just adds enough, just adds a little something. And then on the front here, we can just add another little, just a little something. let's see. I'd like to add maybe just some washi tape at the bottom. I could add some washi tape. There, and that just adds a little. And I'd like to sell, I'll be putting these in my shop in sets. So they'll have a theme with the washi tape here as well. So that'll work out nice. So that one's done. Nice little journaling card. That's pretty. I'm just going to set this one over here. I'm also going to get out my birch bark because I'd like to add some little pieces of birch bark again to some of these. So we'll take some of that out. And let me bring this one back. See if there's just a little something that I can take off and add. Well, I'm going to wait and do it on this one because I'm going to have to put something over that. So let's get this done first. And do like this. So I think I'm going to add this little tiny bit. And this is what I like. I mean, a lot of people don't like working on small items and the small details, but I love working on little details. Cut this one a little bit more. Get it as straight as I can. And then it looks like I can cut it. I'd really like to use it there, but I have to figure out the angle. So let's try that. Someone commented on my pocket envelopes I did on Instagram, and I said, yeah, I can't do anything easy. I have to cut everything out and do like a relief on it. But to me, that's what makes it really interesting. There, I think that's pretty there like that. So we will put that there. Sometimes when I work with these pieces, I think about people that, for a hobby, work with miniature doll houses. and everything that they make. Yeah, I think that's cute there. All the fun little furniture pieces that they create. And they have the little tiny chandeliers in there, and that's just always amazing to me. I feel it needs a little bit more color. That's just too drab and dreary. But I do like the bit of red here. Maybe I could have, because this has no color to it. So maybe I could have this coming up through. See that leaf there. And I want to get this just right. Yeah, I think that's good, just like that. So. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the bottom of this first. Then I'll know the placement of this when I put it on there, because I want it to be just like that. Just tuck that down inside. And I could probably even have this overlap a little bit. So maybe like that. And then I will get this tucked in right here. There. All right. I like that. Is there anything else that we should add? Now, I don't know. I don't know where that, I would put that other leaf over here, but honestly, I don't know where it went to. And I'm going to take this because why not, right? We're here to make and create, so we might as well make and create. Let's see where we might put this. I just feel like we need a little something up around here. Kind of like that there. Kind of like that there. And then maybe we could put a little, I'm gonna have to get Tim Holtz sayings again. I don't know, I might have put them away. Let that dry for just a minute. I'm going to get Tim Holtz sayings. And maybe we can add a little saying to this. I do like that though, that's pretty. Let's see. So if this is going to be a set, this one here we just have just breathe. So we could find, see if there's a small one. How about come what may? I do like that. Come what may. Let's see if we can find a little spot for this, if we even like it on here. Let me see something here. I just want to see something. I think I'm going to put this right on the journaling card. Just make sure that that lines up. Come what may. Yeah. Okay. And we'll do a little bit of embellishing, adding a little something something to this. And oh, let's see here. There's that little one little leaf. And I know, let's see, let me see. I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to add this to this here. Could also add it there. No, I like it on the bottom. I like it on the bottom. I'm going to add this. Make sure it's over enough because this is going to have to go in the envelope. And then I have this little piece here. I told you I like working with little tiny pieces. And we're going to add that to the base of that. So when you do your little snippets, don't throw anything away. And we're going to turn this just a little bit. There. There, that's cute. It's simple. And there's one last thing I'm going to do. You're going to laugh. If I can, right here, I'm going to cut a little berry, and I'm going to add a little berry to that. I just want it to have a little color, and I'm going to add that little berry right down there. And we'll have to let that dry. Hopefully the glue won't dry before I get the berry on there. And I'm going to add one more up at the top here, so it looks like a berry has fallen. So let's see where we might want to place this berry. Maybe there, like that. Okay. There. All right, and then it matches the berries that are on here. So we're going to let that dry, but that one's done. So I'm going to set this aside. All right, this one is done here. I'll put that back over there. All right, now we have these two here. And again, this was a plain white on the back. So I just added some paper to it. And I think I'm going to add some little swirls on this one. So I want to see what this looks like. These I borrowed from my girlfriend. I didn't have anything like this, and I was supposed to be making some cards, which I still will make cards. There. And I haven't even used those yet. This is the first I've broken those out. All right, let's see here. So we have this. I'm not going to do anything at all with this card here. Maybe just put a little saying. And maybe I won't. I think I'll just leave that plain. So if someone else wants to add a saying or some words, they can. And then I just want to get a little something for the front here. And I could do washi tape. Which maybe that's all that it needs. Sometimes it's just the simple things that, you know, you can just add and because this is wheat and I just want it to be very natural. So maybe I can add that, and then I'll add the washi tape underneath it. Oh, come on, come on, come on. So tonight I'm going to dinner with my my weaving friend, my neighbor, and that should be fun. She's been gathering some scraps for me, so maybe she'll have a little surprise for me, have a little happy package for me, which would be fun. This is where your hands really get gunked up. But I like this with the circles, and then you have the lines. I just have to attach this down because it's, remember, birch bark comes in layers, and I don't care if it's crinkled because it will give it more of an interesting look. I can even push it up a little bit to make it a little bit more crinkled. Oh, let's see. And what else do we have here? I'm going to use that. I don't think I'm going to use that washi tape. I think I'd like to use some fun little pieces here. And I'm trying to make when you're working on a design team, you can't use anyone else's digitals. And I have a lot of little labels and things like that. But again, I can't use them because they're from other artists. So that's another great challenge on my part, is to really do my best to use all of these little bits and pieces and stuff. So last night I sat, we're still watching the Olympics. I know I say that every time that I'm on here. But last night I did a lot of cutting. I have I can't tell you whose kit it is. I don't remember. Oh, and there's my son for lunch. So let me get this cut, and then I am going to come back and we'll finish this up. I'm going to go have lunch with him, and we'll finish up our little project. Okay. All right. So I will see you very shortly. Okay. So I'm back. Had a nice lunch with my son, and did a little cheating before I started the camera. I did finish this that we were working on. I just attached that. You had seen where I had cut that out, and I cut this out. But what I did was, I wasn't real happy with the little bit of birch bark I had on here. So I found a little curly Q piece, and I put that there, and I built this layer up. So I think that looks much better. And then we have the Be Amazed sign there. So I'm going to set that aside, and then we're going to finish this one up, and then we should be good to go. So this one, I went again and I stamped with the this rubber stamp from Stampin' Up. And if you're interested in this particular grouping, I don't know if you can get it anymore. I know my girlfriend's had this quite a while, but it's Timeless Textures. And these are all the textures that you get with it, and they're just very cool. And that's what I had made. Remember, I used the rubber stamp to make these little images there. So let us finish up. I grabbed a cup of coffee because it's a very cold, damp day here. We went out on our back porch to have lunch, and I got even colder. So after I get done with this, I'm going to head into the gym and go on my elliptical, and then get ready to, I think I'll do a little ironing, watch a little YouTube videos, get caught up on some of my subbies and everybody I've subscribed to. So I thought on this one here, because this has quite a bit going on, I thought I might add this, but I'm kind of digging this right here. Adding that, but if I don't add that and I add this, I'm going to cut this because, again, we also have this here that's kind of cool. This little bit of rickrack here. So what do you think? Do you think we should use? And I also like this writing. So I'm gonna do something totally I'll do something totally, I don't want to cut into that pumpkin because that can be used for something else. And we're going to put that over here. And it is fun when you work with these little tiny pieces that when you do have little tiny pieces, to save, or that you've cut from, save them, because they will come in handy. When working with smaller items. I just think this writing is really cool. And I think maybe it's something that maybe we could incorporate. I'm I think I might have to bring that up a little bit and cut around it. But that might be kind of cool there. I like that there. And again, I really want to thank everybody for joining in, and the comments I do receive. I really appreciate it. Let's see. I'm just going to put a little bit up here because I'm not going to put it, well, if I can get it out of here, I'm not going to put it on the top of the tag. See, this is what happens when you don't close your top and you go off for lunch and you come back, it all gets stuck. Come on. Come on, Nellie, you can do it. There we go. And then I'll put it on towards the bottom here. There. We'll cut this. All right, put that like that. And I'm just going to glue these down now. And this here was a little too long, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this off. So when you put the tag in, it doesn't run into any interference, the journaling card. All the little things you have to think about. Okay, let that sit a minute. And then I'm going to cut this. And we could probably put this towards that top. I'd like to try that. I got that straight. And it's a little off. And I do want to remind you, for anyone that's hung around here to the bitter end, I still have 20% off in my Etsy shop, and that's through the end of August. and it's all special pricing as well. I will be adjusting the prices just a little bit after the sale is over. Some things will be reduced a little bit, and some couple items are going to be raised just a little bit. So, and just so you know, when I reduce the prices, they'll probably be reduced about 10%. So the 20% is a really good deal, especially on the higher priced items. So you may want to take one last look before the end of August. And I've got a couple gals that keep coming back, especially for those catalog pages. They are just awesome, and they're at a really good price. That's one item that I am going to raise the price on. Right now, they're 10 catalog pages for $8, so that's less than $1 a page. But like I said, they will be raised. I just thought the month of August I would give everybody a nice break. You know, a lot of people go on vacation, so they're a little bit strapped for money, and going back to school. So I just thought my price point and the 20% off was a nice gesture. But after that, and again, like I said, some things will come down in price. Others will be raised a few dollars. So take a look. Okay, let's see. So we've got, I just think that's so Victorian-ish, very, very lovely. So, and again, I have to keep this in mind because that is I don't want it so busy that things will get lost. I could add some more texture. I have these that I cut. I'd really also like to use these, but I don't know if these flowers are fighting that flower. I don't want to do that as well. Oh, let's see what we could do maybe for a little bark on here as well. I really like these little curly ones. And I think if you had them in your book, as long as I glued them properly, I don't think that they would be too bad. So I'm going to start with this because can always add a flower or a leaf. But to me, it's just very a natural scape here. And I just love it. Of course, what's not to love about nature? God did an amazing, amazing job with it all. Okay, I do like the lumps and bumps in here. Because I think it adds wonderful texture. And I don't care if it hangs over the side as well. And I'm going to try something. I used to work with some tissue paper, and there was some fun things you could do. Just to scrunch it a little bit. And I'm going to put Gary right there. I'm going to put him on the job for a minute. And then I could use a pop-up. I just don't think that these are, I don't think these are going to go. They're just a different flower. I'm going to use them on one of the others. I'm going to adhere this right here. And I want to get some underneath it as well. I want that to adhere really well. Again, I'm going to put Gary on the job. He can oversee that while I'm thinking here. And I think maybe the only other thing I'll do, I think the only thing it needs, I don't even think it needs a saying. Yesterday I used a really nice washi tape. On the other, and I think I'm going to see how this looks here. This was quite lovely on the pocket window I made. And yeah, I think I'm going to add this. It just adds another little bit of texture. There. Yeah, I think that's good. And I just want to make sure. So we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to just put a little glue right here. So that adheres there. And I'm going to put a little dab here. So this stays, I'm just going to tuck that just a little bit so that stays there. And then I'm going to put, because I just want to make sure this is all adhered properly. There. And a little bit there. And we're going to just hold that a minute. So while I'm holding this and wrapping up, again, I want to thank everybody for joining in today. I hope that you can take something away that you hadn't thought of, hadn't thought about incorporating, using items on their side. So as a little recap, let's come over here and I'm going to get my bottle. And I may have room. I'm going to look after I end this video, but I may have room for a little tiny saying right there. Just depends on what I have. So this is a little recap. This is what we did today and accomplished. We did this little mini tag. I'm not doing anything to that journaling card. This little mini pocket. This little mini pocket here. We did this little envelope with the little journaling card, and we did this one, and I'm going to add a little something on here. I just have to think about this. But this will also gain a new little embellishment. But we did the cards in these, and I think it was a good day. So thanks everybody for joining in. I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, I hope you took something away. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, keep up on everything I'm doing, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.